Nikki. Okay, we're meeting on.
Everyone, found out this morning that I was doing this. So, bear with me. We want to show you about Ashley. If any of you came to the area agency on agent's table, there's a blue sheet of paper. And after like 10 of y'all, it really got hard saying the same thing. Because it's a lot to kind of go over. So I wanted you to be able to see it firsthand. So before we show the video, I just want to give you a little bit of insight. I was brought Ashley as from my directors. Our executive director showed her a chatbot and wanted to know if we could see anything like this for caregivers at any level. And this chatbot called Ask Ellen. It's the same thing that you're going to see pretty much what we do. But the lady Ellen wanted to look about breast cancer. And when she was going through a breast cancer journey, she would go through support groups, and some support groups were really good for her, and some were not. She felt like some were brought negative vibes to her, so she didn't want that negative energy fighting the breast cancer. So she wanted to make something that gave people hope and support. And when I tested it out, I was amazed. Because I don't know how many of you are caregivers, or have been at one point or another, or maybe you're about to go through that. But as a caregiver, sometimes we're thrown into this, and we don't know how to do it. And it's almost like kids. We don't know what we're doing. We just go with our own foot. Things change all the time. But we do need that support, and things happen all the time. Sometimes, this morning, I had something happen with my almost 3-year-old at 3 o'clock in the morning. I ended up at 3 o'clock because he woke up and I don't know if he had a bad dream or what, and he never went back to sleep until I was finished daycare from o'clock. And I was like, oh, you got to get up because I got to go somewhere. So we fight these battles all the time, and I am very passionate about caregivers and being able to bring that support to them. And I am only one person, and I do have another coordinator for Nash County. But for the rest of our 4 counties, it's just me and maybe 100 people that I'm helping. So I can't always have the answers ready for you. And honestly, caregiving happens at 3 o'clock in the morning. And if you were to call me at 3 o'clock, I probably would not answer. Although this morning, my phone probably would have been in my hand. So this is a way where you do not have to go to Google. You do not have to search and get who God knows how much information, probably way too much, and probably stuff that you don't even trust. It's not like ChatGPT. It's not like Google. This is something that we spent almost a year and a half testing and getting it right before it was brought out to the community. I provided information that I would trust to give to any of you or any of my registered caregivers on a daily basis. It could have come from AARP's website, anything where they can search for friends. They can pretty much get that. It's pretty much been put onto this website. And what you can do is you can chat with this. At any time of the day, you'll go to our website, which is on the blue paper, but I can also show you. But when you go to our website, there's a place called Resources. There's a place that also says Ask Ashley. And if you click that, it's going to bring up your chatbot where you can ask it whatever you want. To get practical tips, because sometimes all we need is that little tip to give us that answer we need right then. It will give you resources and it'll give you guidance. Some of the resources, this is going to be something that has to be edited probably quite frequently because turnover and new resources come into the communities. But if you are in our 5 county regions of Edgecombe, Halifax, Nash, Northampton, and Wilson counties, you are able to view this for your own leisure, to learn anything, to kind of get a feel of what you need to know. And of course, it's going to let us bring you back to my information and other resources to get that more detailed information. But if you only need something right then, instead of you having to watch videos, which you can get free all day long, or reading a 10-page article or a book, you're going to get something thrown at you right then. So you don't have to take that hour, 2, 3 to find something. So we can have a video, and I'm hoping it's going to work. We just had it edited today, like right before I found out I was coming. So it's gonna tell you a little bit about the Ask Ashley, and then I was gonna let you see it yourself because you're not really gonna be able to see full what it can do. So hopefully it has the sound so we can talk to you now. So Dimitri, you can try to play that.
Caregivers rarely plan for this role. It arrives unexpectedly, turning life in a new direction. Meet Ask Ashley, a virtual companion providing 24/7 support for dementia caregivers nationwide. Developed alongside your area agency on aging, this isn't just another chatbot. It is a trusted companion for navigating life's unexpected changes. Ask Ashley is a 24/7 support system designed to empower caregivers and agency staff, reducing burnout while promoting well-being. Aligned with UCP-COG's AI governance policy and refined by the insights of AAA caregivers, Ask Ashley meets the real-world needs of those caring for loved ones with dementia. Caring for a loved one with dementia is a role filled with challenges, worries, and sleepless nights. We knew we needed more than technology. We needed a solution that truly understood caregiver struggles. Let us show you Ask Ashley in action. In a world where 80% of dementia care happens at home, millennials increasingly provide unpaid care, often up to 25 hours weekly. Ask Ashley fills the gaps to enhance existing services, strengthening agencies and their communities. She provides 24/7 support whenever you need a helping hand. Ask Ashley has the unique capability for you to upload photos to the site, and she will highlight areas for improvement, such as adding railings and eliminating tripping hazards. As well as giving suggestions for making living spaces safer, Ask Ashley can also help with meal prep. Upload a picture of your fridge, and she'll suggest dementia-friendly meals using the ingredients she sees. Ask Ashley displays specific county resources and guidance geolocked to your area. Procurement of Ask Ashley is streamlined through the Upper Coastal Plain Council of Governments. Our flat rate tiered approach tailors our solutions to meet the unique demands of your population, thereby ensuring maximum impact and efficiency for your agency. For us, this isn't just a tool, it's their lifeline. A solution that understands the unpredictable path of caregiving. They didn't choose this journey, but with Ask Ashley, they'll never walk it alone.
Okay, so that is the video. And
Email us to schedule a meeting and learn more about how Ask Ashley can support both your employees and the caregivers in your.
So that is the video. That is on our page. This is geolocked, and I'm not into the high-tech people of this. So if you are not in our 5 counties or a little bit outside of those, it will tell you that you're not in our service area. But it will tell you that you're not in the service area and let you know how to get in touch with me. I did just have that recently where I had a caregiver that was out of state who wanted to try that, and they could not. We actually have a demo site, which is what we're going to use to test it out on. The demo site has not been it's not as edited as ours, because it is the demo site. We are actually making sessions, our executive director, us as the AAA, we are trying to get this out into the world. We want everyone to have it. But of course, we can only cover it for our 5 counties. So we're hoping that we can get this national. It's a tool that could be so helpful for caregivers because everyone knows things happen at the most craziest times. And I like to share the stories before I do the demo. When we decided we wanted to do this, it did take a little over a year because I had to provide the information. We had to do a whole lot of testing because we wanted to make sure that we felt comfortable bringing it out to the community before it came live. So it came live November 1st. So it has not been out long, but we are showing and sharing it on it because we want everyone to know that they have this ability to use this. We are the first AAA in our area and in our region, technically nationally, that has this technology right now. And so that's why we're trying to get more people involved. We want more people to be able to have this access for their caregivers and their families and their loved ones, and even someone that maybe just got diagnosed with dementia. You can find out anything you need to. When we shared this one time, John Taylor was one of our people we shared it with, and I cannot tell you. I think Senator Bud. I should really remember this, but when he was doing it with us, he said that this would have been an amazing tool to have because he used to be a caregiver for his dad who had dementia, and things always happen. And he wanted to know what would happen if you put into Ask Ashley, like, my dad woke up in the middle of the night and his snakes are in his bed and has a gun. He said that happened to him. But of course, he knew that the gun was not loaded, but he just wanted to know what Ask Ashley would do. Ask Ashley is not going to tell you to go start taking a certain medication or something that any professional, like, let's see, cops or anything like that. The Ask Ashley is not going to tell you how to do that. It's going to tell you to contact that emergency personnel. But while he asked that, when you look at the responses, one of the things that came up was distracting your loved one. And he said, wow, if I would have thought about that in that heat of the moment, he's like, my dad used to love to go to coffee shops. He would talk to all his friends. I could have been like, Dad, remember when we went last week and talked to George at the coffee shop? What do you remember when we talked? He said, I could have directed him to something else and it would have been forgotten. Because sometimes we don't know those things in the heat of the moment. Some of those simple things, all we need is just that one little reminder. So when we put this together, we wanted it to have practical tips to give you something to do right then and there, but then also our resources. So I don't know if anyone has a question you would want to ask it, but if you did, I was going to let Demetria put that in the question box. If not, I'm going to ask you some stuff just so you can kind of get an idea of what Ask Ashley can do. And I will probably have to read a little bit. I'm not going to read the full thing, but we did make sure that it did not bring you so much information at one time that you're just like, I don't ever want to use this thing again. So it's not going to throw a lot of stuff out at you, but it's going to give you something to help. Does anyone have a question you would want to ask it to test it out? Oh, hold on one second. I cannot because I was not in charge of the pricing of it. But and on the table where we're at, there are blue papers. Robert Hyatt is our executive director, and he would know. I do know that when they did decide on the pricing that they wanted, it's based off of your population. And it's also based on, they wanted to make sure that if another AAA wanted to come on board, because we are funded by the federal government, they wanted to make sure that it would be affordable, that they would be able to access it in their budget. But it does not have to be just a AAA, but it could be It could be on your health insurance that's coming on or anything. It can be literally anyone that wants to add this into their information. In their processes, and they would contact Robert, and Robert and Anna Lee are the two contacts. Anna Lee does not work with us, she is with the company, Naveda Palace. That's the developer part. But they have been amazing to work with. And it did say something about the, privacy policy and things. We actually we made a policy for the privacy and confidentiality because we wanted people to know. Which also reminds me, this does not save anyone's information. So if you were to go on Ask Ashley today and have a little bit of a conversation, and you close out tomorrow, Ask Ashley's not going to remember anything you said. It is not going to keep your county, your name. If you were to put that you hated George and you need to know how to take care of it better, or it's not going to remember that. We do get information to keep up with how, like what's being asked. It tells us a feed. Like if someone's trying to find out about how to place our loved one. It gives us those feeds and things to be able to know how people or what they're asking and what's coming. We don't get what's coming back, but it does tell us what they're asking. We did just have an ad, a thing where it has a thumbs up and a thumbs down, where people can let us know if that information was helpful. We also have to tell people if they go out there and something is not what they like, or maybe it's missing a resource, or maybe you call that resource and it is not right. You call me, Robert, our director Mary, let us know, because we can make that change easily, so that it does show the correct information. So just for testing purposes, if you do something like, my mom just got diagnosed with dementia. What do I do? Something in that point. It may take her just a minute. And I will note that it will let you do pictures. So you can put a picture of your bed, room, put a picture of your refrigerator, and it's going to scan that picture you actually put and tell you something from that picture. Whether you need to remove the rug or remove some kind of decoration to make it more safe for your family. And then eventually you will be able to add videos. I don't think that technology has been added yet, but you will eventually be able to do a video that it will process. And eventually you'll be able to talk to Ask Ashley, and Ask Ashley will respond back to you and talk for talking. But I don't know what that is going to be done. So right now you can only do the type in the chat. And if you don't know a question, there were these blue boxes that were up there, and I'll make sure you see it in a minute. If you don't know what to ask, you have suggestions, because sometimes as caregivers, we really don't know what we need. We just need someone to help us guide us to what we need. So you have that option too. So right here it says, my mom's got diagnosed with dementia, what do I do? So we wanted it to be empathetic. We want people to know that we don't care. And so it says, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom's diagnosis. Taking care of a loved one with dementia is a significant journey, and it's completely understandable to feel overwhelmed. First and foremost, remember you're not alone. And these are the resources and support available to help you through this. So practical advice is always going to be first. Educating yourself, establishing a routine, ensuring home safety, taking care of yourself. And if you go down a little bit more, it does say consider professional help. So as we just heard counseling, making sure you're talking to others, support groups, anything like that. And then also says that it wants to help you with local resources to meet your needs. So it's asked what county you live in, or where you're needing the resources at, really. You can put Edgecombe or Nash, whichever county you want to. And those quick responses is the boxes I'm meaning. So if you don't know, you can just guess, and it'll kind of give you an option. Demetri, can you put like Edgecombe County down? So it says, thank you for sharing this for Edgecombe County. So it talks about like the different things you should do, like understanding the different types of dementia, the stages of dementia, communication strategies. Can you go down a little bit more? So right here, it will show, since you're local, for Edgecombe County, it has my information. If you notice, the email is a hyperlink. So if you're on your cell phone, if you're on your computer and you have a way to look at it through your email, hook to your email, that way, anything that's hyperlinked, you'll be able to click on and it will allow you to do that. So if you're on your phone, you can easily email someone from there. If it's a hyperlink on a phone number, which I believe our site does, and there's a phone number up there, it will hyperlink. So all you have to do is click on it if you're on your phone. It's going to call that person for you. And then it will eventually list like other resources as well. You can literally go as deep and as much detail as you want to be able to get whatever you need. But we set it up to where you get the practical information and tips and things like that. And it goes through that. It's a continuous conversation that you can build upon. And so we wanted this to be able to be provided to y'all. So we could have like through Alta, that is the North Carolina Caregiver Portal. It is great. You can find so many different videos for caregivers. But again, that is video, possibly some articles, but you still have to look it up and you have to watch those things. Instead, you could potentially come up here and maybe find what you need, maybe in a lot less time. And the last story I can share, even though she is not with us, but I share it every time, and she shared it with us. Our agent director, Mary Marlin, helped with guiding me on these things and really testing this out. She was really for it. But one of her loved ones has Parkinson's, and they went to a doctor's office. There's a new ultrasound treatment technology out, and the loved one, she wanted to know something that after they left the doctor's office. And a lot of times we do want to know something after the doctor's office, and you may wait a month, maybe two, maybe that 3-month checkup before you hear back, if you hear back at all. And so she was like, well, you can call your doctor and see if they can tell you, or we can kind of look online and see what can happen. There's not much that she could think about, and she got to the office, and it was actually the same day that we showed John Taylor and a few others, the first demonstration of this. And she went up there, she asked Ashley about it. And a lot of times if someone deals with dementia, they do have some kind, Parkinson's can be tied to it. But I don't know what kind of material I really gave her. There was a lot. So I don't know word for word what was in all of those things. And so she went up there, asked Ashley did not mention that specific technology, and she did not remember the name of it. But she said, well, isn't there something newer? And that ultrasound technique came up. The question that the loved one wanted to know is what happens to the brain matter that the ultrasound is hitting when they're going through that ultrasound technology. Very random question, but she asked that. And probably in 5 minutes, she was able to call her loved one after she cried and told them, I have your answer. What happens is your brain matter is going to it's going to repair itself, rejuvenate itself. She was like, you don't have to call your doctor. We don't have to spend 20 minutes or more online. This is your answer. So she had that answer in like 5 minutes compared to it might take us even longer than 2 hours to find an answer. And so knowing that was really, actually that day I cried too because the people we reviewed it to, they are all caregivers. And so they were really excited about this. And we're very excited to have this tool. It is free for y'all to use. You go up there, it is not an app at the moment. And you do not have to spell correctly. You do not have to know all the words or anything like that you want to put in place. It's going to recognize. And so we wanted you to just know about this tool because it has been out and some people don't know about it. And we are really passionate about it and excited about it to be able to be the first relay to actually be able to bring this to our county. So if you have questions, I can take those. If you want to have the way to get to it or any other information, we have plenty of these blue forms so you can know exactly how to get to it. at any time of the day.
Cute. Your name is on Ashley. Oh, you are Ashley. Oh, she's like, okay, but Apple's Ashley, and your name is. Oh,
Yeah, but they wanted to name it that, it was like a funny joke, they were really just kidding. But I was like, well, a lot of people won't talk to someone else's sympathy. And the caregiver, like, since they don't even know, and so it kind of stuck. And around.
all right, that's good. Ashley, hey, I was kind of stuck at the part where you said Ashley was taking, you can show a picture of the food items, and it will tell you what kind of food you can make from looking at those items. So I'm gonna tell my daughter tonight she need to ask Ashley how to cook. So that's a resource she can use. Put that, read it together and make something. Thank you.
It didn't generate chocolate. This will
Oh wow, it generates chocolate.
chocolate list, it will help you rearrange your rooms in your house. If you have falls risk where you're trying to prevent falls and that sort of thing, you need to just take a picture of the living room, upload it, it'll come back with a diagram of where you can move rugs, how to position your furniture. It is, in my opinion, whether we like it or not, we are living in the world of artificial intelligence and moving towards AI. So this is, in my opinion, it's probably one of the coolest AI chatbots out there because it's not one designed specifically for people looking for caregiver resources and people that with resources that benefit older adults. So you don't have to wait until 8 o'clock the next morning waiting for us to get at work. If you're like me at home at night, you're supposed to be sleeping, you're scrolling on a cell phone, and you got a quick question, you can always type in ask Ashley and get us an immediate answer. And if you need a live person, then you can call tomorrow. But it's a great resource. So hold on to them. So you're welcome. So right now, while we're transitioning, once again, we do have one last presenter, but in the midst, while you're getting ready, we're gonna do a few more door prizes. Are y'all ready?
All right, let's do some more door prizes. You got that ready? Spin the wheel, spin the wheel. Let's go. Congratulations. And if you have not noticed, everybody's saying that has been called having to use the wheel. So we like to be safe. Let's see. G. Lafayette, are you still here? Last name Lafayette? Last name Lafayette? All right, going once, going twice. Spin the wheel. Jeffrey. Congratulations, Alice. Spin the wheel. Isabel Pender. Yeah. Congratulations. Keep it going, side. All right. Spin the wheel.
This is the last one.
This is the last one. Phyllis Steiner.
One more.
All right, run it again. It's Hamstein. Congratulations. All right, we're getting ready for our last presenter. Let's welcome Mr. Dalton Barrett.
Okay, before I bring Mike up to Dalton, I just want to say that I got interested in one of the programs that Dalton offers by attending these meetings that I go to on a regular. And they started talking about a community paramedic. And I'm like, when I think paramedic, I'm thinking of people that drive the emergency squads and do EMS transport. And I'm like, what is a community paramedic? So once I started to learn more and like dive deeper into it, I realized how community paramedics are designed to benefit all of us. And so Dalton has the information to share about the community paramedic program and how it can be of an assistance to each of you as an added resource for you to life today. That's what we're all about today, continuous resources. So this is to do it for you.
Thank y'all for having me. My name's Dalton. I'm from the government. I'm here to help today. I'm supposed to be funny. But I know y'all, it's getting late today. Y'all just had lunch and all that good stuff. But the reason I'm out here today is just to talk a little bit about emergency services for the county. We'll talk specifically about EMS, right? Y'all seen the ambulances run up and down the road and the lights and sirens and all that fun stuff. And then we'll kind of get into the weeds with the community paramedic program that she was talking about. So we'll just kind of test y'all. We'll give y'all the test first today. So how many ambulances do we run in Edgecombe County? Anybody know? Oh, somebody said 7. Somebody is well in tune with what's going on in the community. And that's exactly the number that we have. So it is a limited resource, right? And ambulances are designed for emergencies, right? Anybody had to call an ambulance in the last year? Couple people, okay. Hope the experience was good. Anyways, so we have 7 ambulances, right? We have 2 in Tarboro, 3 in Rocky Mount, 1 in Whitakers, and 1 down in Pine Tops. And that's kind of the areas that they cover. So sometimes we may have 2 calls going on in Pine Tops at the same time. So that means that we have to pull another truck from a different location. So sometimes that puts a strain on resources. One of the things that we've done to kind of help mitigate that is we have these SUVs that run around. We call them quick response vehicles. And they're staffed with paramedics. Most of the time they're in a leadership capacity. And they have the ability to do anything that ambulance can do, but it's just on the SUV. And that SUV doesn't take you to the hospital. Most of the time it's just there, either at a bad call or the ambulance is taking a little while, so that truck can get there pretty quick and start treatment on someone. Okay? And we have one of those in Tarboro, one of those in Rocky Mount, and then we have 2 of those as part of the community paramedic program. All right? So we carry a lot of different medications. We can treat a wide range of things on the ambulance, right? People don't just call ambulance and say, hey, I need your best paramedic that can deal with heart problems. They just say, send me a paramedic, right? So we have to be, versed in a lot of different things. So some of the stuff that really helps us out when we get on the scene, number one is knowing where you're at, right? Everybody knows where your street address is and all that good stuff, but you'd be surprised at some of the people that call and say, well, you remember where Billy Bob used to live, where that horse stood out there for all the years and passed away? We don't know what that is. So a street address is always helpful. So if you look at your mailbox, look at the outside of your home, just make sure that the address is visible, it's large, and we can see it eye-to-eye. We love flowers and everything, but when the flowers and the vines on the side of your house kind of cover up the numbers, we don't know where we're going with that. So just kind of be cognizant of that, okay? So that was just a little bit about, before we get there. Another thing that would be helpful is that you have the person's name, date of birth. Sometimes the spelling can be a little bit different, and that helps us register that patient at the hospital. And if you got time to be able to find a medication list, because we carry 43 different medications in our truck, 43 of them. And some of them interfere with medications that someone may be on. And oftentimes we don't know, but they're on because we're not in front of their medication library, right? So if y'all have a piece of paper you can write some things down on, or what dose you take, that's very helpful to us, and it's helpful to the hospital, along with any other allergies and things like that. But that's very helpful to us. And as well as any type of medication, right? I had a person the other day and was checking their blood pressure, and it was fine. I said, well, have you ever had high blood pressure? And he's like, no, I don't have high blood pressure. And I looked at his medication, he was on the Totalol, the Cinepril, HCT, that's it. What are you on that for? Oh, well, that's for my blood pressure. I said, okay, well, I mean, you're treated for high blood pressure, right? You don't have to go back to this. So being able to know that was, we can hear just a little bit, and community care program. We also ride around those SUVs as well. But it says community paramedic program up there. This program is 2 years old this month. We just had our 2-year anniversary. And we started to help young people get off of drugs. That's kind of how we got our start, an opioid settlement, if anybody's familiar with that. We have a big crisis in our area with young people and some older people doing like heroin and fentanyl and things of that nature and passing away. So this program is designed to follow up after an overdose event and to help people get into treatment. So we can start different types of medication. We can make sure people are educated about the drug supply, and we do a lot of things with that. But that's not all we do. We also do a lot with the senior population as well. Anybody ever went to the emergency room and got out and you were looking at the medications on the list and you're just like, this is just so confusing to me. I don't know what is going on. Nobody explained it to you. Everybody has some headlines. We can kind of come out and look at that paperwork and try to make it make sense to you. So we do a lot of education in your home. We come by ourselves. We don't come on an ambulance. We don't kidnap you and take you to the hospital or anything. Most of what we do is designed to keep someone at home, if that makes sense. Other things that we'll look for when we go into somebody's home is one of the things that senior populations at this point involves, right? So we'll look throughout the house. We'll look at the porch on the side of the house. If there's like some issues that we see where it could be slippery or we see all these cords kind of running, we can help you kind of make some suggestions or do some basic home improvements around and just make sure you're safe and not going to fall or anything like that. If you have, you've been having issues with your blood pressure or your heart's been racing, we can come out, in a non-emergent setting and kind of keep a track of those things. So we have the same equipment that the ambulance does, plus a few more things. We have the ability to not only check your glucose for those of you that have diabetes, but we can also check your A1C in your house. So that's very helpful, right? That's the average every 3 months of your glucose. So if you're out of whack, we can add that to your toolbox and help you understand what those numbers mean. We also check PTI and R levels. What that is if you're on Coumadin or some blood thinner like that, we can make sure that the range of the blood work is right. And that can be done inside somebody's house. I did one this morning. And that can help us talk to the doctor's office and kind of make some adjustments with medication. Because as we age, then our ability to break down those medications changes. So sometimes we have to make some tweaks. And we're able to talk to your doctor to do that. We have a really good reputation with Boys Village Clinic in Rocky Mount. We get a lot of referrals from them. We've worked with a lot of different doctors' clinics, even around Tarboro, Rocky Mount, wherever you might be. We do extensive work with Freedom Hill Community Health Center in Princeton. So that's probably our biggest one. And then last but not least, some folks that you guys may know of are bedbound and they can't get out of the house, right? And then their doctor will order lab work. That's something that's very common. And what that looks like most of the time is a very frustrating morning trying to get Uncle Ted out of the house into a car just to go to the lab to get a blood draw, and then we got to take him all the way back home, right? Depending on the doctor's office, we can come to your house and facilitate some of that. So we can go to the doctor's lab, the same tubes that they would get in the lab, we can grab those, come to someone's house, take the tubes at the house if there's mobility issues or things like that. The cool thing is that we carry ultrasound. That's not a device that's normally carried on an ambulance, but we carry ultrasound, just like we would put on a pregnant person's belly, and we use that to help do IVs and blood draws. So whereas some people probably been to the clinic and they tried and it doesn't turn into a pin cushion and you got Band-Aids all over you and you still ain't got an ounce of blood out, we can use that device and use a little bit longer needle. It looks a little scary, but you're one and done for the most part, which is really nice. So if you have those issues, definitely let us know. We're on the Edgecombe County website. Just go to the community paramedic program. There'll be a spot where you can call our cell phone numbers or send us an email. Come by and talk to us. We're happy to take any sort of referral and we kind of work you in. Like I said, our primary goal is post-overdose. It's getting young people off the drugs. That's our primary goal. But we also try to help out the community where we can and just improve health altogether. Did Mr. Evans have a speech today? He may have talked about getting off those lists, right? And some of those lists are pretty scary. We have a lot of hepatitis C and HIV going around in the county. And one of the things that we can do is we can go and test for that in the field as well. So we can do a lot of different things. We'll let you know if we can help you out or not. If you have a question, just let us know. Drop us a line. We'll have some brochures that we can email out and share out if we need to. And that's, I think that's pretty much wrapping it up. If y'all have, if you're a member of a church or organization and y'all are thinking about hosting a Narcan training, y'all probably heard of Narcan, that's what we reverse host. If y'all are interested in having some Narcan, or your church just wants to learn a little bit about substance use disorder, we're happy to come out and do education for that. You'll see us very soon. We just purchased an enclosed trailer that's got air conditioner and different types of things like that. We're going to set it up as a mobile clinic. We'll be posted around Walmart, maybe some of the ABC stores, go to some of the subdivisions and communities, and just be there to maybe get some foot traffic to check people's blood pressures and just to do some basic health screenings like that in our downtime. So if you see us, wave to us. If the lights and sirens are behind you, make sure you pull to the right. So you'd be surprised some people, they about losing in the ditch sometimes. So be careful out there. But any questions about EMS or the community paramedic program? Hopefully you learned something today, right? We do have a couple of events coming up for the opioid settlement stuff. So as y'all know, the opioid settlement was the money that was given to the county from some of the litigation of the pharmaceutical distributors to try to help with the drug overdoses. We have a meeting. We just had a Rocky Mountain one last night. It was great. It was at the Kent Center. On Tuesday, we'll be in Pine Tops. If anybody lives in Pine Tops, we'll be at the library down there and just talking a little bit about the current status of the problems. That'll be from 6 to 7 in Pine Tops on Tuesday. And then the following Wednesday, I don't have a calendar in front of me. I can't think of the dates. But that following Wednesday will be at Carmen Auditorium here in Tarboro, and it'll be the same type of spiel there. So feel free to come. We'd love to have you, especially if you've encountered somebody with an addiction. You've got a family member or a friend that's gone through something like that. We'd love to just hear their perspective as well. All right? Yeah, my telephone number is 252-544-8155. And we're on the website. I'll give Ms. Coley some brochures, and she can get those back to you guys. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
What if you have a heartbeat that keeps really stable? Your fans feel like you really come in.
Yeah. So our question is, what happens if your heart is beating really, really fast?
Yes, and sometimes you have a very hard one. Like it slows down, and it starts.
Yeah. So I think it's time to see a doctor, probably. Yeah. But yeah, on our trucks we have the ability to actually monitor your heart. So we can look at the rhythm, so we can interpret the rhythm, but then we can also go a step further and just try to see, we can take 12 different, really 15 different pictures of your heart. So if that's something, you're interested in, if it's going on right now, I would say call me now. Okay. Yeah. I think, if you ever have that happen again, don't call EMS and get that checked out for sure. Sometimes it comes and goes, but it could be something underlying. So, and better, we can't replace your heart, so better safe than sorry for that. The last 4 digits of my phone number is 8155. And you can text it or call it. If I don't answer, just leave me a voicemail, and I'll try to get you back.
Name what?
Dalton? Anybody seen the movie Roadhouse? Miss Conley, is that about it? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
The state has.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you
Yeah, we're happy to, yep, we do a lot of education. Probably at least half of what we do is community events, education, public relations.
give me a business card now?
Yes, ma'am. All right. Anybody else? Anybody? All right. Thank y'all for having me.
So before we proceed, just want to remind everybody, we have some additional lunches in the conference room. Feel free to grab something to take with you if you would like. Can I hear you back here, guys? Oh, we have some additional meals left over, so feel free to grab something on your way out if you would like. Oh, and Bayada, that's what it is. Bayada had an additional raffle with tickets on their table. So at this point, they're going to announce their winner. So
We did draw to make this short and sweet. Miss Deborah Lee is the winner of the rollator for Bayonne.
All right, y'all. Our time is almost come to an end. And I want to say I have enjoyed y'all as a crowd. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate the love, and keep me in your prayer that I will just inspire and keep on inspiring, because that's my mission. That's my ministry. Go ahead, explain that. Okay? All right. So I want to do something real special, real quick. The team that put this together, one more time, if you can all just come out. If everybody here, is everybody out here? Oh, y'all here? Yeah, just wave your hand. Get to my hand, y'all. Well, let me tell you, I'm a day of wedding director. I wait until people make their plans and I put them together on paper and then I execute. The person that does all the planning, they're the one that do the real work. They're the one that do the real work. They plan all this, which means they had to get in touch with all of them and come at it and say, who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? What kind of food we going to have? We need sponsors. We need money. That stuff takes some time. And then you still have your family, you know? So I just wanted to give you guys your flowers today because you deserve it. Absolutely. One more time. And guess what, y'all? They still got more things to give away. So the girl back there, she ready. Where? There she goes. You can get right here. That's the real girl right now. It's trying to right. All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see if we have some more winners. Isn't this pretty cool, though? Ain't it so crazy? You gotta worry about the say, oh, I go to church. Congratulations. I connected with Audrey. I don't know her, but we have just talked a couple times since I've been here today. Thank you for your encouragement. Let's spin it well. Spin it well. How many more we got? Spin the wheel. All right, let's see. James Thomas, are you here? Congratulations, James. Let's keep it going. Who will be the winner? It's Elsie Barnes. Congratulations. Two more. Mr. Clarence Pitcher. It's a paper strip. Last but not least, Miss Shirley Maxwell. Come, Shirley. Be right here. Yes. Oh, check my country out. We got an info. Shirley, come to the show. Come there. Wait there. I need you. Oh, wait. Quick for me and quick for you. I'm coming. One Monday night, sorry. Sorry, all right, y'all. So that concludes. Yeah, we're going to do closing remarks. That concludes my question. Hope that you have enjoyed. I hope that I have conducted myself, that you would invite me guys. Thank you for booking me. On behalf of the host with the most and Pataki Simo, we serve the community. So it's Deborah, Pittman, Cody. Come up here, girl. I'm gonna have to make friends with you because you work at the Hackney building. I need you to step on my name.
She want the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you were so young and pretty, girl. That's to you. So I need you to do me a favor. My daughter has an internship at the Hackney building and for a journey. Can you take on her place? I put her name. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you again to all of our vendors. Thank you very much for supporting us. And thank you again for all of you Dalton mentioning. They say that we're on the bottom of the list for everything. We're on the bottom of the age list. We're on the bottom. But I choose to think that there's a lot of good things that go on in Edgecombe County. Yeah. Go ahead. Good things that go on in Edgecombe County, and I choose to think that we are one of them. So thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you next year. Bye-bye.
And a huge shout out to Halifax County, y'all. They're going to do y'all. Thank you for the support. Eight counties to family, y'all. Don't forget your left ear. We do have space left. You can take one to go. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. Good night.